And
welcome to BPO Night.
Hindi na naman sabay. Oh my
Oh
God.
God, nakalimutan ko.
Pagkatapos ko, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Pasok.
Okay.
Ulit. Go.
Hi mga kaBEEPS, this is Apple.
Hey mga kaBEEPS, this is Francis.
Hi mga kaBEEPS, this is Gary.
Hi mga kaBEEPS, this is Lucas.
And,
And
welcome to BPO
Night
Live!
Okay na yun.
Okay na yan. Okay. Let me see Francis doon. So, welcome
may
mga
kumakahol
kaBEEPS.
talagang aso on the background.
Alam mo yan. At
Yes.
yes. Sa topic natin today.
Yes.
That's related siya. Yeah, that's very related. Yeah. I think a lot of people can relate to what we're doing.
I love it. Yes, our topic for today, I'm pretty sure a lot of you can relate, is working from home versus working on site. But first, let's see with your show of hands. Hello, little doggy. If you prefer to be team bahay or team on-site. I'm team bahay.
Ang cute naman!
Hindi mo iro. Uy! Ako, I'm work on site. I'm
bahay.
I prefer working on site.
Well, kasama ba yung from team bahay pero gusto ko na mag-team on-site? I'm really torn between the two eh.
Hi.
Yes, torn between
Diba?
two lovers.
Sana nga lovers.
Feeling
Charot!
like loving both of you.
You know,
It's
this
changing
song
all the
shows our age.
rules.
My God.
Well, ako, for me, remember last year I was working on site because again, our clients were not allowing us to take our work at home because, BPA issues, data protection, kineme. Now that is the first Data Protection Act. Yeah, sorry mga kaBEEPS. Yeah, Data Protection Act. So that's General Data Protection and Regulation. So there are some information that you really can't bring with you. You can't take information with you at home because of the risk of, syempre baka mag-release siya outside. So remember, our homes were not safe workspaces. It's not a secured workspace kasi. So our clients didn't allow that setup. So ako, I prefer talaga, although there was an opportunity for me to still work from home, pero I decided na it's better na nasa site ako, so at least I can keep my ears on the ground and see what's really happening and going on, right? Especially with the kind of work that I do in human resources. But now, with my new work, yes, I have a new work now. The people that I handle are working from home. So even if I go in the office, walang tao. So useless na nandun ako.
Wow.
Saya nun, ghost town.
Di ba lonely?
So, ang ginagawa ko ngayon is, syempre, ano ka lang sa bahay, and then, pinapakaramdaman ko pa yung flow nung trabaho. Kasi, at ito yung nakakatawa, di ba? I don't know the TLs, I don't know the managers. I see them in the chat rooms, we just chat. Pero, alam mo yung wala kasing interaction, walang face-to-face interaction. So, ang hirap nun. So, this is the first time I will ever have this kind of setup. So, right now, I'm still, I would say, work on site. But, wala pinag-work from home ka, it makes sense. So, yeah, so I think I need help. So, I hope Apple and Francis, even for Heart, even for Lucas, hopefully, di ba, you guys can help me. And you can also help our fellow kaBEEPS, right?
Well, for work from home, there are so many things to really decide and to consider before you really take a dive and you want to have that kind of setup, because a lot of people would have this common notion that it's it's so easy. Your life is so easy. Nasa bahay ka lang naman, di ba? Nakaupo ka lang all day. It seems like money just comes to you. You just sit there, type a little bit, and then voila. Your life is so easy. Work from home ka lang, you know? But there's just so much to consider and you have to really set up for work talaga. So, we're going to get there a little bit. But I want to know more about Francis. A little bit of, contrast with Francis kung ano yung work from home setup niya.
Ano ba? Nung nag-start kasi ako mag-work from home, that was more of a transition from when the quarantine first got implemented. So last year I got a taste of both worlds, working on site and then working from home. So for that, because I had two jobs last year, I ended one in the middle of a pandemic and then I started a new one just fairly recently. So at least dun sa first one, I got to see yung differences between working from home and working on site. So when I was working on site, of course, everything's there for you. The computers that you need, the equipment, software, physical help that you would somewhat require from time to time. Tapos magta-transition ka sa work from home na parang balak sa buhay.
Right.
Diba? Stay ka lang sa bahay, pero magtrabaho ka.
True.
Diba? Pero diba, I can also acknowledge na yung iba mga companies, they also help their people set up for working from home. But like in my case, I really didn't get that chance to be assisted, if that makes sense.
It does make sense because work
Diba?
from home,
Kasi parang
loner ka. You're alone.
Hindi sila nagpadala ng computer.
Yeah.
Hindi nagpadala ng computer? Paano yun?
May computer tayo, mag-work ko. Oo.
Hindi nga.
Use your own lap. Oo. Well, I guess because I had a very unique setup with that company. Na parang, well, I wasn't an agent, but I wasn't a manager. So I'm not issued a laptop and I'm not really allowed to be given a desktop computer. So somehow, they just instructed me na, log into this particular site, do it this particular way. Buti na lang techie ako. Kung hindi, patay kang bata ka.
Sa true. That's challenging challenging sa mga older people and people that are not techie.
Oo. And I saw that then. Kasi, of course, in any BPO, there's gonna be a mix of very young people and very tenured people. Let's put it
That's the term. Sorry for
Very
the older
tenured.
term.
Yes. Inclusive.
Diba?
We're inclusive here.
Oo.
Mga
Kasi
baby
meron mga
boomers.
Yeah, mga,
BP boomer.
diba? Kasi meron
Makatake
mga
na naman tayo mga millennials niyan, na mga boomers.
Yung iba
Kaya
kasi
nga,
member ng
iba
Pussycat Dolls, yung iba member ng Thundercats. Aminin na natin.
Short.
Diba? Aminin na natin yan. Meron din namang
I
mga
love
in-between,
that.
pero bala na kayo. Diba?
True.
Pero let's say in my case, diba? The things that you would really think about is how are you going to log in? How are you going to prove to the company na you're working? So usually with BPOs, there's a timekeeping system that is used, diba? So for some BPOs, that could mean a fingerprint scanner or say yung PIN code sa
True.
entrances or sa isang device na ginagamit sa office. When you start working from home and you take that away, of course you have to replace that with something else. Ano yung magre-replace doon? So when a computer is sent to you, madali na yung ganung system. Like sa kaso ko, I had to use my own laptop to log in to a specific site. Paano pag hindi, nangyari sa akin yun once na I couldn't get into the site, hindi ako naka-log in on time. So, paano ngayon yun? Diba? Buti na lang, considerate din yung and I had proof. I showed them na, I was logging in, this is the timestamp ng sa computer. Kung baga, you just need to provide proof. But otherwise, it can be very challenging. Let's say I really didn't know what I was doing. Diba? So, medyo challenging yun. Tsaka lucky din na hindi rin ako nagtitake ng calls. I was listening to calls. Pero paano ka magli-listen sa calls? Wala ka naman sa office. Paano yung mga connection? Alam mo yun? Ang dami mga ganun mga cheche-boreche. Marami mga
Yes.
that we always take for granted. Diba? Like, coming from a training background, usually ang sasabihin ng mga tenured agents sa'yo, di ba Apple, di ba sasabihin ng tenured agents sa'yo, anong system po yung gagamitin natin? Ano pong
Right.
headset yung ginagamit natin? Ano yung
Anong
ganito?
software? Anong hardware? Anong phone?
Anong klaseng phone? Plantronics ba to? O Jabra? O, ganun pa sila. Juicy. Nagbabanggit talaga.
That's true.
Yes!
Ganun,
Kasi
ganun.
namimili talaga sila ng brand. Kailangan branded. Like,
hindi kayo doon
Plantronics
sa-
I like. Ganon. Ay,
You know
apart.
what? Speaking of brands, I have a friend. She's in the process now on doing her application to a certain BPO company. And ang nakakaloka, guys, aside from the requirements that they're asking for a certain brand of computer or laptop.
What?
And also a headset. So, if hindi mo siya ma-provide within the period of time na kailangan nila requirements, mamumove yung start date mo.
The hell?
Diba?
Oh.
At ang nakakaloka, hindi sagot ni company yung ano. So, I think that's
I'm sorry.
that's
What?
the new process na rin for the new normal of, applying.
You know what? I agree
Yun lang.
with that because there's a lot of that in the work from home setting. That if you try to join a few groups on Facebook, there's a lot of them now, but you would see that aside from your skills, they would require certain techie specifications that they're going to ask you in your recruitment or interview, whether you have a backup of your backup of your backup, your internet kapag may generator ka ba, ganon.
Oo, totoo.
If you have power bank, whatever. Like, do you have another computer? Do you have a desktop? There's so many backups, or they're going to ask about it. But the question is, yes, that's right. Whether is the compensation worth this with all of these requirements? Pero yung pala minimum wage lang pala. Grabe naman maka hingi ng requirements, and then just how much lang pala yung sweldo, and then too much workload and then too many requirements. Ay, bye.
True. Pero alam nyo guys, yung my previous company, alam mo ba nagbigay sila ng I think wire. Kasi di ba we are using laptop at home, yung mga QAs, TL, so laptop siya. So ang alam nila, of course, laging nakasaksak yon. So just in case na magkaroon ng power interruption, we still have enough battery life for the laptop, right? So they provided us like a wire or socket. So for example, nagka-power interruption. So, ang gagawin mo lang, yung internet nyo, like yung Wi-Fi, pwede mo siyang isaksak sa power bank.
Wow!
I'm not sure. Oo, actually sa Lazada daw nabili yun.
Amazing.
Oo. So, para continuous pa din. Kasi nga, naiisip nung company nga namin na yung mga ganyan. Kasi nga parang nagkaroon ng time na parang for a day, ang daming agents na power interruption ang reason.
Ang issue.
Oo, yun yung issue nila kung ba't di sila naka-log in or kung bakit biglang nag-log out or whatever. So, the following month, makaisip sila ng idea para continuous pa rin nga yung work. Siyempre, di ba, meron tayong mga client, criteria, yung mga ganyan, eksena, or mga kailangang i-meet. So, part yon para continuous pa rin yung manpower. So, yun. Share ko lang naman yung naging
That's nice.
naging action plan ng company namin. And I think
That's
it works
actually
kasi kumonti na lang yung yung mga nagko-call call out or call in na mga power interruption, blah 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 ganon.
Oo. That's actually nice kasi again, 'di ba, it all goes down din dun sa mga tao na are they capable ba talaga mag-work from home or not? Kasi given that merong mga challenges sa ganyan, 'di ba? So, mahirap kapag you take your work dun sa bahay tapos ang dami mong issues. So, ngayon, maganda yung ginawa ng company mo, Heart, na at least they try to mitigate yung ganun para ma-mitigate yung loss. So, at least, mawi-weed out kung sino talaga yung nagpapanggap na merong issues at wala.
Ala, tama-tamaan, bato-bato sa langit. Well, real talk lang, kaBEEPS, ha?
Oo,
Ay, oo, real talk lang.
Real talk lang.
Pero umamin po tayo mga kaBEEPS, no? Wag po tayong magmalinis po, di ba? Some of us do that. I mean, meron dyan malam po, may tech once or twice. Wag pong gagawing habit.
Alam nyo guys, meron akong i-share lang ha. Connected dito sa pag-usapan nating power interruption. Okay, hindi na ako mag-name kung saang company ko ito na Anes, pero you know what guys?
Nakakabis mo
diba?
ganitong moments na nag-reveal si Lucas.
Hindi, no, as pero
Maraming chismis talaga
Oo
eh.
nga, may big reveal ka
Hindi
pa.
guys, diba?
Nakikinig
Share
lang
ko
ako.
lang naman, and I know na maraming makaka-relate nito, especially dun sa same position na, yung job description ko. Because, you know what, I'm doing live monitorings or call monitorings, ganyan, para to check the quality and the standard if the agents are following the process of the company, right? So, parang there is this season, wow, season talaga ha, na parang na-notice ko, actually not just me, but also my fellow coaches, na ang mga agent, all of a sudden, in the middle of a call, nadi-disconnect.
Ay, totoo yan.
Nadi-disconnect ang call. And ang trend niya, guys, if the reason of the customer is very complex, the agent is talking and all of the sudden, voila, the call got disconnected. So guys,
Totoo ka
ito na
dyan.
nga. Nagkaroon kami ng root cause analysis. RCA, doubling
Oh my
work, may
God,
pa-RCA
anong
kami
level
everyday,
na?
guys. So, ito ang na-found out namin. So, for that season na tinawag namin, disconnecting season pa nga yung term namin doon ng mga fellow coaches ko. So, nangyayari siya, guys, kapag nga complex yung call, and then, bigla daw nagkakaroon ng power interruption, and then, internet connection issue. Which is, internet connection issue is given kasi it really happens in our country. Wala talagang stable na internet dito sa Pilipinas. Kaya hello, charing nag-rant. Pero guys, doon na diba? Nag-start na.
Third world problems.
Oo. So yun na guys, so part of our RCA na nga, nagkaroon kami ng action plan na lahat ng mga nagka-issue ng power interruption is mag-provide nga ng proof na meron nga. Kasi, if I'm not mistaken, pwede na siyang i-request sa kay Meralco. Parang naging requirement siya nung company ko before. Naging part siya ng process ng WFM na somehow naka-apekto sa mindset ng mga agent na parang merong trust issues, which is hindi naman talaga siya maiiwasan since independent kami nag-work at home. And then nangyari nga yung parang season na yun na ang daming disconnected calls na na-call out na kami ng client, why is it happening? And also nagkaroon kami ng tons of complaints from the customer from why are they keep on getting a disconnected call or disconnecting the call while they are talking, something like that. So, yun lang.
Let's get real lang mga kaBEEPS, no? This happens in the BPO as well. Local banks or local providers, hindi ko na name. Pero pag kunyari nasa-sense where they're sensing that the customer is about to get irate, this is a personal experience as a customer, not listening as a coach or a trainer, whatever. But I get that when they sense that it's getting complicated, there are more questions, or it's getting escalated, like it's getting the person is getting irate, nawawala yung call. The call drops and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, and it has been happening. It has been happening in the BPO industry. Sorry, I'm gonna call you out, mga kaBEEPS. Don't do that. And then, you don't want that to happen to you, right? So, as a customer,
pa dyan, girl.
Ano yan, yan? I-share mo talaga yan.
Oh my God.
Kasi with the previous company, that's also, yung ginagawa ni Lucas, that's what I do, pero it's more for language. So, I'm more of a language and communications coach. So, kikinig ako ng calls, minsan live, madalas recorded. Kasi kapag live, minsan hindi ka nakaka-connect. I guess connectivity issues, whatever. Minsan sa recordings, mapapansin mo na lang, may recording siya for the first 2 hours of the shift, tapos mawawala for another 2 hours. Kasi makikita mo yun eh. When you pull up the information, when you pull up the recordings,
Yes.
okay, nakalogin siya na ganitong oras. Tapos login siya ng 2 hours. Tapos mawala siya ng another 2 hours.
Wow.
Tapos magla-lunch pa yon. Tapos saka siya babalik. Nawawala, bumabalik. Gumagari, V. Ang tindi.
Bakit Gary V?
Wow.
Kasi nga nawawala, bumabalik. Eto na naman. Bakit eto na naman? Kasi araw-araw, nagiging trend siya.
Kaya mo, ako din.
Diba?
Kaya ko lang
At hindi lang siya, multiple na tao.
Mm-mm.
Diba? Tsaka yun din yung mahirap kapag diba? Parang, some people think na they can get away with these things. Pero, diba, isipin naman natin, there are people who live in the same area as you do, na parang hindi po isolated cases ang pagkawala ng internet, pagkawala ng kuryente. Malay nyo, meron po kayong mga kasama sa opisina o kasama man lang sa kumpanya na kabarangay nyo o kabayan ninyo. Tapos mababalitaan na lang namin, hindi naman nag-brownout. Bakit brownout ang inirason sa amin itong...
Yes. I completely agree. Ano ba yan? Stress Drillon.
Ganito lang yan, mga kaBEEPS. Ito ganito lang siya. Ako kasi naniniwala ako, di ba, when there's a will, there's a way. If there's really a way, let's say, meron kang issue sa internet, gagawa ka ng paraan para maging okay yan.
Sure.
Nagkakaroon ka ng problem, let's say may power interruption ka, gagawa ka ng paraan para hindi magkaroon ng issue. If hindi mo magawa ng paraan, if importante sa'yo ang trabaho, mag-work on site ka na lang. Or gagawa ka ng paraan para makalagin ka. Diba? Yun lang yun. However, we have some kaBEEPS out there, and eto, again, matamaan ang dapat matamaan, pero kailangan kailangan mo silang gisingin sa katotohanan na, guys, kung ayaw nyo yung trabaho mo, huwag nyo idamay yung iba. Every time that you disconnect a call, every time you don't log in, every time you're part of the team's shrinkage, you're not only running the risk of losing your job, but also ruining the image of the company. The business.
Yes.
The account could potentially pull out and you will be affecting a lot of jobs. Can you imagine? I like what Hart said earlier about the disconnection season. Yung disconnection, isipin mo, if hindi yun ginawa ng paraan ng management nyo hard before, no?
True.
Baka mamaya wala nang naging paulit-ulit yung ginawa nilang habit, ginawa nilang excuse, inabuso. Pag inabuso yan, wala, babaksak yung service level mo, may penalty si company. Ano papasweldo sa'yo? Diba?
And Gary, the fact na kinall out kami mismo ng client itself, that's really alarming, right?
That's super alarming, yes, that's right. Mga kaBEEPS, every single campaign would have a service level we have to maintain.
Sure.
If we do not maintain, even if let's say there's a 5-year contract between you and between the client and the company that you work for, the client could always pull out. So, fact of the matter is, guys, nandito tayo sa industry na to. So, again, it's a profession. It's part of our DNA as, you know, as mga kaBEEPS. So, let us serve, diba? Let us serve our customers with integrity. Let's serve our supervisors, management, diba? The clients with integrity. Guys, the BPO industry generates a lot of income for the Philippines.
Yes.
Kung tatanggalin mo yung BPO industry na yan sa atin, wala na. Kung third world, baka maging fourth world country na tayo.
And also, Gary, may I remind also the kaBEEPS din, no? Remind them that at the time that they've applied for the position, yes, I'm flexible, I can do anything, blah, 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 channeling.
Pang Miss Universe.
Nakakalimutan na nila yun. Yes. Most of them are forgetting it. Yung mga pre-namin sila during the interview and the final interview. Diba?
Correct. Guys, tayo? Results. Action. Ganun eh. We don't want lip service. We want action.
True.
Kaya nga sinasabi natin sa training, like when we start training, lagi ko sinasabi, pag gusto, may paraan. Kung ayaw, may dahilan.
True.
Ganun naman. Tsaka in 2021, ito yung nakakaloka eh. Hindi maka-log in sa or hindi maka-take ng calls kasi meron daw internet issue pero nakapag-post sa Facebook, nagra-rant.
True. Ang daming ng
I was
ganun.
about to say that you with the backup, I have a pocket Wi-Fi. Use your phone, right? If there's something wrong with your headset, bumili ka ng mumurahing headset. 150 lang to sa Lazada, Shopee, whatever. Just
Mm-mm.
make sure you have a backup of a backup of a backup.
Mm-mm.
Kasi this is your
Pero-
bread and butter.
Mm-mm.
So,
Correct.
Pero of course pa rin, ano pa rin yan eh. Sometimes talaga kay company pa rin yan. Kay company din naman siya dapat. So, what if nga that agent is really telling the truth that it's really happening, no? So, I guess, some companies then, they should also help yung mga agents, especially in sa mga internet connection, they can actually help them na i-upgrade yung MBPS or something like that. Or katulad nung sa previous company ko, nag-provide sila nung alternative just in case there's a power interruption, di ba? Mga ganon.
that's right. Actually, this is more of a work from home sense. It's not, I'm not working with the BPO industry anymore. So the same thing. We're also still outsourced job because imagine it's like a desk job pero you are assigned that job, you're just in a different country, but pretty
True.
much you're working with them. So this is not happening for me, but I heard it from someone else in the freelancing industry that they were the teams, the other people from different areas in Metro Manila na, they're experiencing internet issues. So what the client did was he funded a co-working space for them in Makati or somewhere in the city, so that, for example, when they have an important or a key day or a key week to achieve the deliverables, to submit everything, so yon, they funded the co-working space. So they had to work. They actually need to work kahit na they're supposed to be work from home. But since you're having issues, ako na mag-adjust. As a client, I'm going to adjust and then I'm going to pay for your co-working space. They have how many Mbps there? You log in there for 3 days straight so that we can finish our deliverables. Parang ganon. Hopefully, it
Diba?
doesn't have to come to that. Because, I mean, if you decide to really go and be work from home, dapat shoulder mo na rin yun, right? From the work from home sense, you should be preparing for those. Those are your basic, your system requirements are basic. But for BPO, I think it really is dependent on the company if they would be upfront na, hey, here are your system requirements, or no, it's on us. Parang ganun siya.
I agree with that, Apple. We should not be let's take, for example, you work for a company and then they could not provide you like most of the equipment, etc. and all. Let's not throw them under the bus because number one, we don't know exactly how financially capable they are.
Yes.
Right? So it all depends on how, let's say, the management thinks about spending, and they might be spending wisely. And of course, there might be a backstory to some of the things or to some of their decisions. Kasi I know this company we're in, they provided like work from home desktops to everyone and that's free. However, some of the employees, di ba, nag-abandon sila. And then,
Oh, no.
because of nag-abandon sila, hindi nila sinoli yung company equipment.
What?
So, loss yun ng company. Diba? So, kaBEEPS, so kapag po
Yes.
nag-provide ng libre ang company, isusoli po natin yun. Hindi po siya binibenta. Tapos,
It's on
yung
Facebook
magagalit-
Marketplace na.
Exactly. Tapos nagagalit yung empleyado na wala siyang back pay. Malamang, dinadak lahat
Oo.
yun doon. I mean, some people are abusive in that sense.
That's
Diba?
very true.
And some companies have learned that we really can't provide everything to our agents, especially if, let's say, bago, di ba? So, mga kaBEEPS, let's not rant, di ba? Parang, or if, let's say, you're given something, be respectful, di ba? If it's handed to you, take good care of it. If, let's say, hindi ka binigyan, or the company that you accepted in, hindi ka nila binigyan ng equipment and you have to provide for your own, you respect, di ba? I mean, they're not forcing you. They're not forcing you to join the company. If you have the means to create your own, to get your own equipment, why not? If you do not have, don't throw them under the bus. Kasi baka ganun kasi nangyari before, di ba? Baka nire-recover pa rin nila yung asset nila hanggang ngayon. So, alam mo yun, parang always be mindful. Pag-isipan din natin before we say something negative towards sa company na yun, di ba? And kapag pag binigyan kayo ng company ng asset, di ba? Aside sa isusoli nyo, during the time that it's with you, be productive. Be productive and use it accordingly. Huwag po natin gagamitin yung mga personal na asset ng company para manood po ng porn, ha? Para bubuksan ng messenger at magpadala ng mga malalaswat, masisela ng mga litrato kung kani-kanino, ha? Kasi nakakita na po ako ng ganyan.
What? Ito yung mga gusto ko kay Gary din no? Hindi lang si Heart na may pasabog.
Pero yung sa akin kasi lahat kasi puro incident report.
That's why
Funnel kasi siya ng lahat ng yan eh.
integral ka talaga sa sa talk na to.
Alam mo yun, I mean, aside dun sa mga tao that they're taking abuse of the nawala na ka ng internet connection or meron na akong problema sa power interruption, pabebe lang. Meron iba ginagamit, tulad ng messenger, makikipag-chat sa jowa, magpapadala ng mga ganong pic, di ba? So parang, na-screenshot ni coach. Heart, i-share ko mamaya.
And sometimes, diba?
Login before landi.
Correct, login before landi. Yun lang dili responsibly, mga kaBEEPS. Nita naman.
Tsaka, diba, aren't they afraid na sometimes or most of the time, it's being monitored by the ITs?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so...
So, it doesn't mean na work from home. Hindi siya ma-access ng ng IT, correct?
Correct. Guys, work professionally. Like, ako, I have my own laptop. Pero let's say, I want to listen to music, ganon. So, I use my iPad. Diba? Hindi ko pinupull up yung YouTube na playlist dun sa sarili kong laptop. Kasi, well, I'm allowed, but then again, I only use yung YouTube na functionality ng laptop ko if it's work-related. If it's other than that, I just use my Spotify. I use my mobile phone or my iPad or my personal laptop. Anything outside of that, as long as it's work, it needs to be inside my laptop. If it's non-work related, something random, I make landi, mga ganon. Ibang
You know
ibang device, ibang gadget. So guys, wag natin abusuhin kung anong binigay sa atin.
Next time on BPO Night Live.
We're saying this kasi syempre, we care about you, sir.
Ito mga to, kung makapagsalita, napaka-elitist, napaka-rankist, napaka-snob.
Ano kayong magigas sa Tulfo, kailangan nyo ng witness. Ganun.
Oo.
At kanina sila may napuputukan, parang iba yung pumasok sa isip kong puto.
Follow us for more BPO talks and tips on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at BPO Night Live. You can watch us on our official Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. BPO Night Live is also heard as a podcast on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast listening apps.